The groceries were already inside. All of them, sitting on my kitchen counter, neatly arranged, like someone knew exactly where everything went. But I never buzzed anyone in. I never heard a knock. And my front door was locked from the inside. I didn't understand it at the time, but that was the first mistake. 3 stories, real situations, real people who used a delivery app and realized too late that something had already gone wrong. I should have known something was wrong the moment the app said delivered, because I was standing at my front door, and there was nothing there. My name is Kara. I am a nurse. Night shifts mostly. After a 12-hour shift, the last thing I wanted was a grocery store, so I used Instacart. It was a Wednesday afternoon. I had just gotten home, still in my scrubs. I placed a standard order: milk, bread, fruit, coffee. The app assigned a shopper within minutes. A woman, 5-star rating, over 200 deliveries. I sat on my couch, pulled a blanket over me, watched the little dot move through the store, aisle by aisle. Normal, routine. I was almost asleep. My phone buzzed, order delivered. I looked at the time, 41 minutes, too fast for the distance. I went to the door, opened it. Nothing there, no bags, no shopper, no one. I checked the delivery photo in the app. It was my door, definitely my door. But the angle was wrong. Not from where you stand when you set bags down, from almost directly against the door, like someone standing right up against it. I didn't think much of it at first, but something about that photo kept bothering me, like it wasn't meant for me to see. I checked the tracking again. The shopper's dot was still on my building, not driving away, not moving at all, just sitting there, right on top of my address. I refreshed twice. Still there. I walked the entire hallway, both ends, empty, back inside, deadbolt locked, chain on. Told myself the GPS was just slow, but something kept pulling at the back of my mind, something I couldn't name yet, and then something else caught my attention. I went to the kitchen to make coffee, opened the cabinet where I keep my mugs, and stopped. The mugs were rearranged. Not dramatically, just slightly. The one I always use was at the back. The ones I never touch were at the front. Something felt off. I stood there staring at that cabinet. Told myself I must have done it after my last shift. Half asleep, not thinking. I moved my mug forward, made my coffee, went back to the couch. But the feeling didn't go away. It got heavier. I opened the app again, went to the delivery photo, and this time I looked more carefully. In the reflection of my door, there was a shape, faint, just barely visible in the gloss of the paint. The reflection of someone standing behind the camera, facing my door, from the inside of the hallway. That's when I realized the photo wasn't taken from outside my door. It was taken from the wrong side, and that's when it got worse. I sat there for a long time after that, staring at that photo, trying to decide if I was seeing something real, or if 12 hours of night shifts had finally broken something in my brain. Part of me wanted to call someone immediately. Part of me didn't want to say it out loud, because saying it out loud would make it real. I went through my apartment, room by room, slowly. Bedroom, bathroom, closet, kitchen, nothing obvious. But in my bathroom, my hand towel was on the wrong hook, always on the left. Always. It was on the right. I should have left right then. But I went back to the living room instead, opened the app one more time. The shopper's dot had finally moved, but not toward the store, not toward the highway, 2 blocks east, and stopped again. I called the building front desk, asked if anyone had buzzed up to my floor in the last hour. He checked. A woman said she was making a grocery delivery. He buzzed her up. Standard procedure. I asked when she left. He said he wasn't sure. He didn't remember seeing her come back down. I asked him to check the elevator camera. He put me on hold, came back 2 minutes later. His voice was quieter. She came up at 2:14 p.m. The delivery was marked complete at 2:31 p.m., but she never came back down in the elevator. Not at 2:31, not at 2:45, not at 3 cows. The last footage showed her going up. There was no footage of her coming down, at all. Police arrived within 20 minutes. They searched floor by floor. They found a stairwell door on my floor, propped open with folded cardboard, small enough to look latched, but not actually closed. In the stairwell landing just outside my floor, 2 grocery bags, my order, every item, correctly packed, sitting neatly against the wall, like she had been standing there, just outside my door, for a very long time, deciding something. The Instacart account was deactivated within hours. The profile photo was a stock image. The name was fake. 212 5-star reviews, built over 8 months, for whatever she was actually planning to use it for. I moved out 3 weeks later, and I have never used a grocery delivery app since. That one took me a long time to get through, but stay with me, because the next story, the driver did nothing wrong. She followed every instruction, delivered to the right address, did everything correctly, and that is exactly what makes it so disturbing. The delivery instruction said, leave the bags inside the front door, not on the porch, not by the mailbox, inside. And there was a code to get in, already typed into the note, waiting for her. This was submitted by a shopper named Deja. 14 months on the platform. Fast, careful, high ratings. She thought she could read people. This order came in on a Sunday morning. Quiet neighborhood, large houses, the kind of street where everything looks exactly as it should. The order itself was ordinary. What was unusual, was the instructions. Most instructions say something simple. Leave at door, ring bell, text when here. These said, please use the key code on the side gate, enter through the back, leave bags just inside the back door, do not knock, do not ring the bell, the homeowner is sleeping, thank you. Deja read that twice, then a third time. She had used gate codes before. Some customers were particular about noise. She told herself this was just one of those. She pulled up to the address. Large house, quiet, curtains drawn on every window. She found the side gate, entered the code. It worked immediately. She paused before pushing it open. Something she couldn't explain. Just a pause. She pushed through anyway. Walked to the back door. The back door was already open, not wide, 3 inches. She stood at the back step, looking at that gap. 4 bags of groceries in her hands. She called out softly, Instacart delivery. Nothing. She said it again, louder. Nothing. She pushed the door open with her foot, just enough to slide the bags through, and stopped. The air inside felt still, like the house hadn't been opened all morning, like the air itself had been waiting. On the kitchen counter, a phone. Screen lit up, showing the Instacart app, showing her location dot on the map. Someone was watching her arrive, in real time. Deja set the bags down just inside the door, stepped back immediately, pulled the door back to 3 inches, stood on the back step. Something felt deeply wrong. The house was completely silent. No television, no music, no sounds of anyone sleeping, and every curtain drawn on a clear Sunday morning. She looked at the order details. The customer name was M. Harlan. Account created 6 days ago. This was the first order placed on it. She started walking toward the gate, and that's when she heard it. She was halfway across the backyard when she heard the back door open fully behind her. She kept walking, measured steps, normal pace, reached the gate, pushed through, pulled it shut, turned around, through the gap. A man was standing in the back doorway, not holding the groceries, not checking the bags, just watching her leave. Completely still. Like he had been waiting for her to look back, Deja stood at her car, hand on the door handle. Part of her said drive away right now. Part of her said maybe this is nothing. Maybe he just woke up. Maybe she was overreacting. She said that second part, almost won. She got in, locked the doors, looked at the house from the street, every curtain still drawn, the man no longer visible. She opened the app to complete the delivery and noticed something she had missed before. The tip, $120, preloaded, before she had delivered anything, before she had even accepted the order. $120 tip on a $60 grocery order from a 6-day-old account, with instructions that required her to enter the property alone. I wish I had seen that earlier. She called Instacart support immediately. Support flagged the account while she was on the phone. She asked if they could tell her anything about it. The agent paused, then said quietly, this wasn't the first time that address had been reported. 6 months ago, different platform, a shopper had reported feeling watched, reported a man in a doorway, reported instructions requiring entry to the property alone. That account was deactivated. This one was created to replace it. Same address, same instructions, different name. Deja reported it to police that same day. Officers went to the address. The man answered the front door. Cooperative, calm. Said the instructions were just his preference. Said he liked his privacy. Nothing they could hold him on. Everything just barely on the right side of normal. Deja looked up the address afterward. She found a missing persons report, filed by a neighbor, about a woman who had visited that house 8 months ago and never been seen again, listed as unresolved. She sent the link to police. She never heard back. And that address still receives grocery deliveries. If these stories are keeping you up, you are exactly who this channel is for. Make sure you are subscribed, because what is coming next week is already sitting in my drafts, and I have been debating whether to post it. 2 shoppers, 2 situations with no clean resolution. This last one is different, because the person in danger was not the shopper. It was the woman who placed the order, and she placed it because she had no other way to ask for help. The note on the order said one thing: please knock 3 times, then wait. Do not leave until someone answers. That is not a delivery instruction. That is something else entirely. This comes from a shopper named Reese, 2 years on the platform. He had seen unusual instructions before. None like this. The order came in on a Thursday evening. Small house, single car in the driveway, lights on inside, standard items, bread, soup, crackers, cold and flu medicine. He assumed someone was sick, didn't want to go out. That made sense. He shopped the order in under 20 minutes, drove to the address, read the instructions one more time, knock 3 times, then wait. Do not leave until someone answers. He knocked 3 times and waited. 30 seconds. Nothing. He raised his hand to knock again and heard something from inside. Not a voice, not footsteps. Something being moved, dragged slightly, then stopped, then silence. He looked at the window beside the door. Curtain closed, but at the very edge, a gap, movement, someone adjusting the curtain, looking out, then letting it fall back. He stayed on the porch, waited. Something felt wrong, but he couldn't place it yet. The door opened slowly. A woman, mid-30s. She looked at Reese, then past him, at his car, at the street behind him, both ways, twice. Her face was tense, not unfriendly. Tense in a specific way. Controlled, like someone holding something very carefully. She looked at the bags, then back at Reese. Is there anyone in your car? He said no. Just me. She looked at the car again. Did anyone follow you here? He said no. She nodded slowly, stepped back slightly from the door. I need you to do something for me. And I need you to not ask questions. Reese stood there, bags in hand. She spoke quietly, quickly, like she was timing something. There was a man inside the house, not threatening her directly. Nothing she could call police about specifically, but she was not okay. Her phone had been taken 2 days ago. She had used a neighbor's tablet to place the order. The only reason she could get away with it was because he thought she was just ordering food. The medicine. That wasn't for a cold. That was the first item that made sense to order. The item that bought her enough time to type those instructions. Please knock 3 times, then wait. Do not leave until someone answers. She had been waiting since yesterday morning. And that's when Reese understood everything. And in that moment, he knew this wasn't just a bad situation. This was something much worse. He said he stood on that porch, with 4 bags of groceries in his hands, and the weight of what she had just told him, settling over everything slowly. He had about 10 seconds, before the man inside noticed the conversation had gone too long. At that point, he didn't know if he should stay, or get both of them out of there immediately. He said he has never felt that kind of stillness before, where everything becomes very simple and very serious at the exact same time. Reese asked her one question, quietly. Do you want to leave right now? She looked behind her into the house, then back at him, nodded once. He set the bags down on the porch, calmly, like he was arranging a normal delivery, told her to walk to his car, normal pace, like she was just helping carry something. She stepped off the porch, started walking. Reese followed behind her. They were halfway to the car, when the front door opened. A man stepped onto the porch, larger than Reese had pictured, calm in the way the wrong people are calm. He looked at the woman, then at Reese, then at the bags still on the porch. Everything okay? Voice completely flat. Reese said yes, just confirming the order. Standard procedure. Said it like it was boring, like it meant nothing at all. The man looked at the woman. Long look. She had stopped walking, standing beside the car, keys in her hand. The man stepped down 1 porch step. She doesn't need to go anywhere. Reese looked at him for a moment, then said something he had not planned. Sir, I need her to sign for the order. New policy for orders over a certain amount. Just her signature. 30 seconds. Complete lie. No such policy exists. The man stood on that porch step, looking at Reese, for a very long time, then nodded once, and stayed where he was. Reese walked to the car, got in. She got in. He drove, did not stop until 8 blocks away. Then called 911. Police responded to the address. The man was on the porch, sitting in a chair, like he had been expecting them. She was taken to the hospital. Reese gave a full statement, sat in the station parking lot for a long time after. He kept thinking about one thing. If he had left the bags at the door, if he had not read the instructions carefully, if he had marked it complete and driven away. She had placed that order 8 times over 3 days. 8 different shoppers, 8 deliveries. None of them had stayed long enough. None of them had knocked the right number of times. None of them had waited. Reese was the 9th. 3 orders. 3 front doors. 3 people doing something completely ordinary, who found something that wasn't. The nurse who realized someone had been inside her home. The shopper who was watched through a kitchen window. And the one who knocked 3 times, and waited. Most of the time. Everything is exactly what it appears to be. But sometimes, the person delivering your order isn't the only one at the door. Stay aware. Stay safe. Good night.